Do you have a child, parent, spouse, or partner who is a resident or Mexican citizen? In this video, you are going to learn how to obtain a Mexican residency by family ties. Make sure you watch it until the end, because I'm going to share with you a step-by-step process to carry out the paperwork. Let's dive in. Who can apply for a family visa? Mexicans or foreigners who are temporary or permanent residents in Mexico, who have a foreign relative and want him or her to reside, can apply for a visa. What is the extent of the family bond? Father or mother, spouse and their children's, concubinary or concubine or equivalent figure and their children's, children born abroad. It is important to notice that children's must be under 18 years old and not married. Also, children's over 18 years old but are in a state of interdiction are included. If your children are over 18 years old, they have to make another path. This is why it is important to consult with an immigration attorney to determine the specific requirements for the visa that you are applying for. If you are already living in Mexico, you can apply directly in the country. If you are outside the country, you need to do it through a Mexican consulate office. Be aware that you have to prove the family relationship by presenting an apostille marriage license or birth certificate translated into Spanish. If you do not know what an apostille document is, I made a video explaining it. Find the link in the description below. Now, it is most likely that your family member is economically dependent on you. In that case, the consulate will ask you to demonstrate financial solvency, in addition to what you have presented. As an average, you will have to show 100 days of the current general minimum wage in Mexico City for each economic dependent. Let's do the math. This year, the general minimum wage in Mexico City is 270.44 pesos. Multiply per 100 days equals 20,744 Mexican pesos, with an average exchange rate of 17 pesos per US dollar, equals 1,220 US dollars. This amount is for reference only. The requirements and amounts may vary depending on the consulate, changes in the minimum wage of Mexico City, and the current exchange rate. I leave you a link in the description to all Mexican consulates around the globe, where you can access to verify updated requirements and amounts. Notice that some websites and forms are in Spanish. Also, some procedures can confuse you. Therefore, I highly recommend that you rely on an immigration lawyer to carry out your process. Step-by-step process. Now let's see the step-by-step process for applying for temporary residency visa in Mexico. Number 1, go to the consulate's website you're planning on visiting. Some of the sites will say to email them directly, while others will tell you to schedule via site. Most consulates do not take walk-ins. Try to avoid that unless you know for a fact that they will take you in as a walk-in. 2, complete the application form and make an appointment. Getting an appointment can be lengthy. It is important to start the process well in advance of your travel date. 3, once your application has been submitted and processed, it will tell you a list of documents to bring which will be specific to your chosen visa category and fees to be paid. Number 4, attend the appointment with the requested documentation. The mandatory ones are passport photocopies, bank statements, and photographs. Check the measurements carefully because they're very specific. Number 5, at the appointment, you will be asked questions about your current status and why you want to live in Mexico. 6, most consulates will give you their decision that same day on whether or not you're approved. If you get approved, you will usually get your residency stamp on your passport that same day. 7, if you've been granted a visa, it will be valid for 180 days. Number 8, you must arrive to Mexico before the visa expires to exchange it for your residency card. 9, when you arrive to Mexico, you have 30 days to visit the local immigration office and apply to get your residency card. This process is called canje. Pro tip 1. Don't wait until the last minute to travel to Mexico, and definitely don't let your stamp expire. Otherwise, you will have to start the residency process all over again. Pro tip 2. Remember that the dates in Mexico are formatted day, month, year. So when you get that residency stamp, try not to confuse. Timeframes. To summarize the timeframes, it can take from start to finish as little as a few days and up to weeks or months. It just depends on how fast you get your appointment at the Mexican consulate near you, and how soon you travel to Mexico to finish the process. If you have already gone through this process, share with others your experience by leaving a comment. I hope you find this video helpful. If you want to learn local knowledge to invest in real estate in the Mexican Caribbean, I suggest to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.